And a very good morning to all of you. It is the 16th of March, 2019. We've officially motored through half of March. On our way to spring, Semper Fi, Yujiro Hama. Nice to see you aboard this morning. Tom Finland, good morning. That's good. Tom, the music hurts your ears. If it's not one thing, it's another. Sandy Callie, always an honor to see you. Harvey, good to see you. No, what's up with Jen? Just her morning grumps. Or actually, Jen's never grumpy. Jen is almost always in a good mood. And unless she's chasing me around here with a stick or something. And happy to see all of you this morning. You know, I put up, I have to kind of eat my words today, Missy Jenn. I was on a hangout last week, and people were saying, how you doing, Monique? Susan Brown, nice to see you. Lady Di, Polly, everybody. If I missed anybody on the side chat, it is, of course, intentional. No, just joking. Sorry I missed anybody on the side chat today. Love you guys being here. A lot to talk about this morning. Another jam-packed coffee time. Narce is getting washed up here this morning. It's his last day here. He's going to be taking off tomorrow. We're going to have our thoughts on him being on the Rancho and his life, his directions, family, and all that. We do kind of consider him family. We've been able to give him some nice, what would you say, advice and things. We'll talk about that tomorrow. About steering your own ship. Don't be anybody's puppet. Don't be anybody's cock. Be out there. Be doing your own thing. But I do have to eat my words. Simon, how you doing, sweetie? I do have to eat my words because last week I was hanging out. I said, people don't appreciate. You can put, what, Missy Jenn, 10 hours into a cinematic video, and you're lucky if you get 50, 100 views. And, you know, if you tromp around, be controversial or be a hellraiser, you get thousands of views on the video. Well, I put up a cinematic last night video. I expected to wake up and see 30, 40 views, and it was well over 300 views. I was really shocked last night. Our little trip out to the coast, just called Simply Breathtaking. So a little cinematic experience done with just a GoPro. It's a great little camera, but it is fun to do that thing. So thank you to those of you. I'm still angry at Missy Jenn being out on that little point out there and almost that closing climax scene there when she's out on this little point of land. We often have collapses. We have soil that's very saturated here on the coast, and we have whole chunks of that cliff will just go down into the sea. And all I could envision was just Jen, like that final little ride. Bye. Seeing her go down, you know, 120 feet to her doom on the rocks. And, you know, but that's the way Jen is. She lives life on the edge. Thank you, Coachisms, and thanks to all of you. So, Harvey, it's no problem. You come back when you want, bro. No problem at all. Hi, Vicky. How are you? So thank you all. You reaffirmed my faith into putting an hour or two into doing a video. And of course, you can look forward to them around the country. Very exciting. Let's get to Missy Jenn. I had a little bit of a setback in my plans yesterday, but Missy Jenn takes priority. I originally thought her next round of infusions at University of California San Francisco Medical Center would be in late March or early April at the latest. But I suspect due to the success of the infusion therapy that there's many more people.
It's an approval process.
Yeah, approval process. But I also suspect that there's many more people jamming those infusion centers because of the efficacy. How you doing, RB Shadow? Because of the efficacy of the infusion therapy, there's probably a lot more people being pushed into that now that have MS with the results on that. Hello, cute kitty. Nice to see you. Thank you, Cobra John. Not my best work, but it was good enough for being out there. I didn't have any extra game. You really should do some of those shots with the tripod, but you do what you make do with what you have.
Shopping.
I appreciate
Cassidy.
that. Hi, Cassidy. Mwah. Thank you, honey. Nice to see you this morning. So it appears now that the infusion is going to be at the very end of April. And I mean almost the butt end of April coming up. So I will be out traveling. My initial travels will now be pushed to May. The upside is I have more time to prepare and get things done on the ranch. Of course, the downside is it pushes it more into the future. But I will be doing boondocking through April, overnight boondocking in the van, and that's always fun. Down to places I like. You know, I love to go like Point Reyes Station in Marin County. Beautiful place to overnight. Just lovely, great town down there, and doing mobile, remote hangouts from down there. Simon, yeah, she's doing good. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning to you. Good morning, Rouge. Nice to see you. And yeah, it was wonderful to be there. So it is what it is. You know, I just roll with that. Everybody's expectations was April I'd be on the road, but you got to have your priorities straight. I need to be here with Missy Jenn the first week after she has her infusions till she feels stable. I need to also arrange yard work to be done. And I'm probably at the age anywhere where I want somebody else to begin doing that, you know.
Yeah, you will need somebody to take care of this stuff.
I mean, it's small, but it is a rancho. There's always something to be done here. And it does take its toll. Hey, Judy, how you doing? Judy. Hey, Norm, how you doing today? Nice to see you. Nice to have Norm F on board. And Norm, I'm getting my passport lined up.
Hello, Norm.
I'm coming to Canada, brother, to relive my Toronto days. We're going to be hanging on Yonge Street, having high tea at the Royal York Hotel there. So I can't wait. Anyway, so that's going to be, Missy Jenn is the high priority for me. So we're going to get that straightened out. The weather will even be more glorious for travel in California in May. It'll be absolutely delightful. And my initial travel is going to be restricted to California because I got to make sure that the program of having Jen being comfortable here works well. I can't be any more initially on my first excursion, 2 weeks or whatever. I can't be any more than a day away to drive home. I have every confidence in Jen. She is she's very strong, but you never know. And I got to be very plugged in and very keen to that. I'm going to talk about a couple minutes here to talk about Dave the Fisherman. Has been a friend of mine. And Dave the Fisherman marked a significant turning point in my life too, here on YouTube. A gigantic turning point on my life. I got some rather devastating news yesterday about the progression of Dave's illness. And it kind of hit me right between the eyes. You know, and communicated to Dave. And, you know, Becca had come on the night before talking about the progression. I'm not going to get into the illnesses and things. Anybody that has met Dave in person, as Missy Jenn and I have done, will know for a fact that Dave battles significant health problems. You know, we've seen receipts, okay? What he chooses to show on YouTube or not show on YouTube is his business. And of course, Dave has been MFD, mockery, fuckery, debauchery. But at the end of the day, there's reality underlining that. Okay. So I would just ask everybody, well, let's see, RV Shadow, I just want to tell you, we've seen everything we need to see. And I would suggest anybody, when confronted with news like that, no matter what, it's always better to err on the side of giving credence to things as opposed to, you know, thinking otherwise. Certain people everybody has their own mechanism with dealing with serious illness. You know, Missy Jenn tends to be, you know, very stoic with her thing and doesn't talk a lot about it. Some people share. So I just want to say, Dave, you'll certainly be in Missy Jenn's and my thoughts and prayers, as well as Becca.
Yes.
For dealing with this whole situation. My intention is still to come out in late spring, early summer, and share some time with you in Iowa. See Deb, the RN. Hopefully see Janelle passing through the Kansas City area, Sioux Pete, and moving upward to Des Moines. Hey, Sister Earth. Hey, Sister Earth. So that's the way I feel about Dave. You know, before Dave came along, I pretty much had a channel that I never fully felt that I was doing the things that I really wanted to do. I felt somewhat constrained with the expectations that people had about my hangouts and the way I run my channel and who to exclude, who to include. And meeting Dave the Fisherman was a positive thing because it resulted in a lot of dramatic changes in the way I run my channel here on YouTube. And the independence that I now feel and the happiness that that has brought me as a result of decreasing dramatically panel hangouts, increasing dramatically doing the things that I want to do and not feeling guilty about not having those hangouts. And also the main thing is not letting other people direct who you meet or who you don't meet, but being strong enough to stand up on your own 2 feet and take each person individually without letting other people's successes or failures with that person be your successes or failures. Judge each and every person on their main merits. And I want to thank Dave for being the one to stimulate that and bring me to the realization that I can meet people myself and form my own judgments about people. And if you failed or if you succeeded with your relationship with them, well, I'm sorry about that, or I'm happy about that, but I have to find out for myself. And now I'm happy to associate people and make my own way. So is Dave in the side chat?
Yes, up there.
Oh, okay. All right. So I want to just say you mean a lot to Missy Jenn and I.
Yeah, you
Dave.
and Becca both. I gotta say, it was a great pleasure to have you here. Rancho, meet you in person and break bread with you. And
Thank you, Cesar. That's right, Andrew. Thank you, and thank you for being who you are. But I felt like after what I received yesterday, that I would just give that shout out to Dave. You will be in our thoughts and prayer. Yeah, I see him. He shall return when he is better, and that's cool. And I'm glad. Take the time you need. Do the things that you need to do with the things you need to do with Becca and the things that you need to do in your life. Let's talk about Nicole Green, because I think she's at the point where I was back in, say, January, late January, February. And as you know, this is someone I love very dearly here. Hello, Ireland O'Brien. This is somebody I love very dearly. She's kind of gone through that transitional period of seeing life on YouTube and seeing, what would you say, Missy Jenn? Seeing that you can survive being strong. You can survive making some tough decisions on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to jettison friends away, but you have to always be aware of the reality of the fact that people, like was continuously told me, you threw your friends away. When I really enumerated the friends that I had, quote, lost, unquote, they were a very precious few in my life. My real friends are still around. They're still strong on my channel. They're still involved in my channel. And they're the friends that allow me to be me. And finally, Nicole has reached the point where she's not going to be explaining anymore her rationale for making YouTube fun again, and for doing the things that she wants to do, and seeing the people that she wants to see, and hanging around with the people that she wants to see, and breaking those chains that restrain. And they're the things that really make YouTube miserable. What makes YouTube experience, especially in my opinion, is that when others try to direct your happiness in your channel on YouTube, then all of a sudden YouTube begins to be a little bit painful, because you're catering to the few instead of making yourself happy. And I was very excited when she chose to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to start doing the things that I want to do, going into places when and I would argue today, in the last 2-3 weeks, that she is happier today. She almost reminds me of the Nicole of 2013 and 2014, when we would be on those early hangouts, and she was very happy. So I'm extremely happy for her, not for me, but for her, that she can be who she wants to be. And for that, Nicole, I say bravo to you. Make sure your time on this social media platform is everything that you want it to be. Okay? Other people have already made their decision about you a long time ago, trust me. They might put on the mask of palsy-wowsy, but underneath the surface, sadly to say, a few of them probably feel otherwise. That's the reality of YouTube. So today we have our trip down to Oakland, and this is going to be significant today. I'm going to be taking Narce down with me. He's got his own power brick now to sustain himself and his flow of streaming. We're going to have a great time today. Always pushing on to new areas to explore. And they are a lot of fun, these journeys. Yes, they have some risk. We're fully armed with the pepper spray. But they make some really, these journeys makes it for some really epic content. It's a long day. I've told him that being on your feet for 5 hours is a long day, but I'm not driving an hour and a half to hang around for an hour. I'm an urban explorer. I love this stuff. I love pushing around old warehouses.
Hi, Quinny.
Sampling. Hey, Quinny, how you doing now? Sampling some of the street foods. I'm very excited about that, and seeing Narce down there. Yeah, okay. We risked a wild dog encounter here and there. The pissed off person, but it sure makes it exciting. Video, and we will end up again this will be our final journey onto International Boulevard, but we will end up in Chinatown again, and it'll be my pleasure as Narce's send-off to sit him down and let him have that experience of Chinatown in Oakland for a good time. The future winds are going to be a little more gamey. You know, Richmond, the area of the East Bay called Richmond, is extremely dangerous to the extent that Bobby advised me, no, don't go into Richmond, Point Richmond. We'll see. That's for another time. But for today, we're going to have a lot of fun. And I encourage you guys to be here. I also encourage you to subscribe to Narce's channel, Nomadic Narce. He will round more into his own person, which is good. Be less susceptible to the influences of his uncle. He's already gotten a lot of positive reinforcement things here to do things his own way, and also on YouTube. The theme that he continuously tells me, the thing that he's told me a million times the last couple of days is, Rosie, I can't believe I used to come on and get, 20 thumbs down and 3 thumbs up. Well, your destiny is in your hand. Start making positive content. Start showing the real Narce. Get out there on the road, brother, and show trucking. Show what it's like to be a trucker. Talk about the heartbreaks, the realities of being on the road. Answer people's questions they have about being an over-the-road trucker, because you're very unusual at age 23 to be an over-the-road trucker. And he hears it all the time from people, other truckers, like, your son, you're too young, you should be in college, blah, blah, you should be with mommy and daddy. He's out there on the road, mature. What he's trying to do is get more mature in the way of YouTube. You cannot succeed by being in anybody else's shadow or doing the things that they're doing on YouTube and expect to have success. It's the same thing I told Bergs. Do your own thing. Create your own content. It's hard. The easiest thing to do is to lay in somebody else's slipstream and just enjoy that. But to get out there and do your own content, you make yourself interesting instead of making somebody else interesting. We sure will. Hey, Uff, how are you? Yeah, there is a trucker community here.
Hi, Mr. Z.
Mr. Z, how you doing? I sure will. We got to talking about you tomorrow morning. The great Mr. Z helped restore our faith in humanity, especially the tough times that I went through in January. Mr. Z was right there at my side. So I would say Narce has the ability to do great content. Imagine somebody's going to be everywhere in the United States. Show that trucker experience. Pull into that loading dock in Manhattan at rush hour at 5 p.m. on a Friday with the thought of having to back this 45-foot rig into a loading dock while people are laying on their horns. Show people the experience. He's got a lot to offer. I agree with that, Norm. I think trucking is always, every industry is always hell, because it's always a race to the bottom in terms of profit margins. Trucking has to weigh off that benefits versus competing with the next trucking company. And whether we like it or not, it's always a race to push those profit margins down to potentially zero to drive out competitors. It's just like the old .com boom of the mid to late 90s, when all these .com companies raised money for how to bottle better farts and do all this crazy shit online. And what would they have, Missy Jenn? Cafeteria food trucked in for the people, ping pong tables, movie nights, beer nights,
baseball,
basketball courts inside. Massage people would come in and massage. These are indicative of industries that have it way too fat in the Darwinian system of capitalism. Don't forget that. What happens to those companies? Gone. Same thing with every industry. But somebody's got to move that freight. See, that's the reality of it. It ain't going to move itself. From Indianapolis to Kansas City, from Kansas City to Dallas, from Dallas to Houston, from Houston to New Orleans, it ain't going to move itself. So whether they like it or not, there's going to be a trucking industry. It's a tough way to make a business, and Narse sits right in the middle of that. Right in the middle of that. And actually, Norm, from what I understand from Narse with this owner-operator versus company driver, it's the owner-operators that have the more difficult time on the road. Because if you're driving for a company, say Yellow or one of them, you earn points at places like weigh stations, inspection things. Your company can get an overall rating, and sometimes you can bypass a lot of those things on the road. But when you're an independent owner or operator, they always assume on the road that you're tweaking the rules a little bit because you don't have to answer to anybody. And according to Narse, these are the people that have a much tougher time when they are on the road with inspections and slowdowns and all that. Yeah, there could be autonomous trucking ahead. That's right, Happy Meal. I need a hookah to get my day going. Yeah, Quinny, he rolled in here. He had to get his generator fixed on his truck. And then he rolled in here on, what was it, Tuesday afternoon. So he effectively spent Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today, Saturday. And he'll be on the road tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But today's going to be a blast on the road down in Oakland. I've told Narse the expectation that we cannot stop. We have to keep motoring on today. Keep moving. You know, one of the toughest feelings is 7 o'clock and it's getting dark and you realize you're still 10, 15 blocks away from where you need to be. Thank you very much, Lady Di. I appreciate that. Hey, Anna, Alexa, nice to see you back. There's been a nice sweetie coming back. Hope you enjoyed your sabbatical, Anna. Hadn't seen her for about 6 months. Yeah, I think those times are coming, Norm. Those times could very well be coming. Yeah, truckers have a very hard life. Yeah, there's money there if you work hard. That's the reality. So we're going to close it out. We're not going to leave here till about, we're going to be on the road about 2 o'clock today. Our boots will be on the ground in Oakland. Happy says, I wonder if the Shine Check smells like cheap tobacco bear and trucker Muslim. Well, I guess I'll say this for the 15th time, Happy Meal, that Narse is not a Muslim. They're Christians. Okay? I think being Christians, you could afford them the same respect as Christians within the state, within West Texas where you live. Okay? Hey, America United, how are you?
And
yeah, thank you, Norm. Going to be heading out with Narse in a few hours. Going to get charged up on a good carb breakfast.
Also,
we'll be out of here.
We have somebody in the side chat that's just started now to create content.
Who's that?
Mr. Z.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Z. So make sure you
sub. His first video coming up yesterday.
Okay. I'm going to have to check that out. So. I'm just saying, I mean, this is the mentality of some people like Happy Meal on YouTube, that they get their needle stuck in a certain groove and they become incapable of independent thought and analysis because it's fun to run with the herd.
Happy Saturday,
nothing really
Jen.
surprises me on here when it comes to that. This is one of the reasons that we seem to always be mired in the past here on the boy. Andrew said, Missy Jenn, where did you?
Carmen. Carmen ordered online.
Yeah, Karman, I think is Carmen is the name.
Yeah, you go online and you go to, I think it's Carman.com, Karman.
It's the lightest wheelchair that they really make.
And it runs about, it's like 22 pounds. It's all aluminum. You can purchase it online.
Yeah, there we go.
They'll ship it to your house.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Norm F. The pack of wolves, they become incapable of independent thought. They see what they want to see instead of the reality of things.
Hello, Bella.
Whereas if you're a Christian, those few people that stand strong in the Middle East and the Sea of Islam should be regarded as heroes and courageous and brave for practicing their religion in the midst of a sea of terror and hatred. Pretty amazing. But that's the mentality that Happy Meal has brought to YouTube for years. And, you learn to live with it. Where's your accent from?
German, Dutch, Belgium, Norwegian.
Norwegian, yeah. Woo. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up. For those that participated and those that, and I mean, Norm F. and quite a few other people are here that were so kind and generous on Tip Your Mod Day on Wednesday. That was fabulous. Monday will be distribution day. Thank you. As I always said, it takes a lot of people to run an active channel that has a lot of live stream content. You're always grateful for the moderators that take time to be here. And I want to say to them, thank you. And thank you to the wonderful people on YouTube and on my channel in particular that understand that it takes more than one person to make things a success. And I think moderators are really the unsung heroes of live streaming. Because in so many ways, in so many places, yeah, it's nice. It's sometimes it's prestigious. You may think it's prestige or it's great to be the one that holds the wrench, but it's a drag. In my experience, it was nothing short of a nightmare to be wrenched up because all you do is seem to make people mad. If you never do another thing, honey, you've done too much. You've done too much already. Go do those taxes, honey. Off's like, I got 15 taxes to do. We'll be on the 3 p.m. our time. We'll be starting 6 p.m. East Coast time there. And we'll be poking around. I can't always guarantee, but we'll have a good time. And what makes it particularly exciting is 2 people on foot. It gets that. Yeah, no problem, Johnny Watt. We'll have a lot of fun. Oh, so that's it. That's exactly it. So anyway, and Norm, thanks for being here, for your support, particularly too, and Uff and other people. And Norm, you can talk to your blue in the face to people like Happy Meal. They've been ingrained with prejudice since they could waddle around a floor.
Have a good rest of the day, Simon, and best
and you will never remove that prejudice. It's like the Bible says.
Dorlin.
Do not look, by RV, do not look for the splinter in your fellow man's eye when you have a wooden beam in your own eye.
Bye, Polly. Have a good evening.
We shall see if he's able to keep up today or not. So we're going to go ahead. Thank you very much. We will see you this afternoon. Much love to all of you. Dory, nice to see you, honey. We'll see you on the road.